Hi, my name is Danielle Brown. Today I'm going to be talking about stress and how it affects the body. Stress is the body's way of responding to specific types of stimuli or reacting to certain types of events. Some stress is actually healthy for the body. Studies show that short-lived stress can improve brain performance by keeping the brain more alert. When our brains are more alert, we perform better. Long-term ongoing stress can lead to a negative stress reaction in the body called distress. Distress can lead to physical symptoms including headache, upset stomach, elevated blood pressure, chest pains, and problems sleeping. Research suggests that stress can also bring on or worsen certain symptoms or diseases. Prolonged amounts of stress without relief can wreak havoc on the body and have detrimental effects to it. The body just cannot sustain long periods of time in an elevated state. When this happens, we then enter the state called chronic stress. Chronic stress is defined as a state of prolonged tension from internal or external events. Chronic stress takes a much more significant toll on your body than acute stress does. It can raise blood pressure, increase the risk of heart attack and stroke, increase vulnerability to anxiety and depression, contribute to infertility, and hasten the aging process. This type of stress response has been characterized as fight or flight. Although fight or flight may describe the primary physiological responses to stress for both males and females, studies show females' responses are more marked by a pattern of a tend and befriend state. Studies show females respond to stressful situations by protecting themselves and their young through nurturing behaviors, the tend part of the model, and forming alliances with a larger social group, particularly among women, the befriend part of the model. Males, in contrast, show less of a tendency toward tending and befriending, sticking more to the conventional fight or flight response. It's important for us to learn how to manage our stress. Stress comes when we're faced with overwhelming demands. The demands can be large or small, but it's important to point out that it's our own perception of these demands that decides their impact on our lives. Without stress management, all too often, our bodies are always on high alert. Over time, high levels of stress will most definitely lead to serious health problems like the ones mentioned earlier. By being able to identify which events trigger certain stressful reactions for you, you are effectively managing your stress level. You'll find that your thoughts become clearer, your moods are more stable, and the risk of illness diminishes. Here's some of my tips on how I handle stress. Number 1, learn the process. Understand what you can and cannot control. Number 2, plan ahead to the best of your ability. Number 3, understand and know things never, ever go as planned. There'll always be the last-minute somethings. Number 4, deep breathing when things go wrong and you feel your stress building. 5, when all else fails, remove yourself from the situation if it bothers you that much. Take a walk, go meditate. Just by walking out and physically removing yourself, that is effectively managing your stress. Daily stresses for me. I work for McDonald's USA. My office is the regional headquarters for the Baltimore, Washington, and Virginia restaurants. We deal with stress on a day-to-day basis. We are very reactionary to public response, marketing pitches, and our corporate headquarters based in Chicago. Oftentimes we're given directions on projects, but moments later given different directions. Copies are made for specific events, but moments later changes render those copies useless, so the project must be completely redone. These types of events render us useless. They have been the cause of copious amounts of stress and frustration among fellow staff due to lost time and a waste of resources. This role has taught me about my own self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is the ability to believe in your own strengths, knowing your own limits. There were months that went by when every meeting that came up was a disaster due to poor planning and lack of foresight. These were the times I questioned my hardiness. By hardiness, I'm meaning my ability to endure difficult conditions. Do I have what it takes to see these projects through? Can I make this process better? How can I make this process better? I learned what I could control and what I couldn't. I stuck it out, studied each meeting flowchart, and interjected my ideas as to how to improve the process. I put protocols in place where when we have meetings come up, a lot of them happen around the same time, either each month or each year. We attend planning sessions, months out, weeks out. cover as much ground as we can before the actual due date. We still from time to time have last-minute fire drills, but there is now a level of confidence and control with the meetings I'm responsible for. With my new meeting protocols in place, I have a sense of optimism as opposed to dread every time a new meeting comes around. Optimism meaning my hopefulness and confidence about the future. I look forward to everything coming together and the meeting being a complete success, even if everything doesn't always go as planned. It's still a good feeling seeing everything finally come together. Well, thank you for listening, and I hope you found the information in my presentation interesting and insightful. Thank you.